Welcome to another episode of MarketSense, when we simplify key economic concepts and issues to help you better understand and make smarter economic decisions. My name is Dr. Taufik Kolaoleraji. In today's episode of MarketSense, we're going to be asking some economic questions that are pertinent to the month of December. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned.
Do you think this December will feel like a typical Nigerian December, filled with consumer spending?
Not entirely. Price levels are still on the high, which are putting a lot of pressures on real incomes and also on the purchasing power of various households. So this December, consumers might want to spend a lot, but the truth about it is that purchasing power wouldn't allow them to spend that much. So instead of having a dirty December this December, most households in Nigeria will just have a normal December spending.
Do you think salary earners will patronize spending or survival this December?
Definitely survival. This December, a lot of households will prioritize just purchasing the essentials, food, and paying their utilities, rather than on non-essential consumption, such as on luxury items, will be greatly de-emphasized for this period. Me answer your question, it will be more about survival.
Does December spending usually create demand pull inflation?
Not necessarily. Recent studies have shown that Nigeria's inflation is more cost pull than demand pull. What I mean by cost pull is increase in fuel cost, increase in energy. Those are the cost pull inflation factors. But yes, demand might spike a little this December, but not necessarily the major driver of inflation.
Do you think the seasonal spending contributes to GDP growth in a meaningful way, sir?
To a limited extent, yes, consumer spending contributes to the overall GDP calculation. But the truth about it is that a 1 month spike in consumer spending might not have an overall effect or big effect on GDP. Yes, Nigeria's GDP growth has been modest of recent, and most of it has come from non-oil sector, not from consumer spending.
Why do households borrow money just to show off during the Yuletide season?
Households borrow in December in Nigeria for social and cultural reasons. December is usually associated with high spending. So households spend on family gatherings, celebrations, and even gifts. And this is majorly why households borrow. Mostly it's for social image and not for basic financial prudence.
How will fuel and transportation costs shape December spending this year?
With the rising cost of fuel and transportation, most households will allocate most of their income to transportation and electricity, and etc. etc. This will reduce their spending on non-essentials such as celebrations and also just general Yuletide spending. So that answers it.
What should households do differently to manage their expenses this December?
Households should focus on purchases of essential items such as food, payment of utilities. They should also prioritize having a budget. Also, you want to avoid high cost borrowing during this period, and also avoid non-essential purchases such as luxury goods. This will help you save and also maintain a good purchasing power throughout this period. And lastly, it will also help you avoid the financial stress that comes in January.
Is there hope that consumer purchasing power will get better come 2026?
There's a cautious optimism here, but all of this depends on Nigeria's macroeconomic development. Nigeria's economy has been growing of recent, majorly from agriculture and services. If inflation stabilizes, household income will also moderate. This will have an effect on purchasing power, which will likely increase. So in the short to medium term, yes, there's optimism that consumer spending would increase or get better in 2026.